In this video, I'm going to show you how to document indirect notes and indirect services that you provide during the day. To start off, I'm going to go to the tab at the top, Indirect Notes, and click on that tab. From here, I'm going to go to the right and select this button, Add Indirect Notes. Like most of the drop-down menus in noteCounselor, you can just click on that and scroll down to select what you want, or you can also just start typing in and it will populate. So I'm going to say paperwork, and it's going to give me today's date as a default. Time of day, I might say morning. It could be an exact time. It could be 8 to 10. It could be before school. It could be 2 to represent maybe second block. This can be anything you want it to be. But the duration in minutes, that is actually the amount of time you spent on that activity. So let's say that I spent 45 minutes on paperwork and it was during a school day. The reason I want to indicate if it's a school day or a non-school day is because noteCounselor is going to calculate all of the time that I spend on my activities, and it's going to compare my direct services with my indirect services, because the goal is to try and get the 80% direct services that's recommended by ASCA and also by my state. So today, let's say I spent 45 minutes and it was during a school day, and I needed to do paperwork. Maybe I spent 45 minutes on email that day. That would be a lot, but I'm just going to go ahead and submit that. And what you'll notice is that this screen starts to populate with the things that I have done lately, specifically the indirect services I've done lately. And it's going to give me this date range of a few weeks. I can change that if I want to, but I'm going to leave it like that for now. And I'm going to show you a couple other things about indirect notes. So let's say I'm going to add an indirect note. I'm going to do paperwork again, and I'm going to add today's date. Let's just say, though, I spent 20 minutes and I was writing letters of recommendation. Now, this is still an indirect service, but maybe I also want that to show up on my history with a specific student. If that's the case, I'm going to select Copy to Student Notes, and then I'm going to choose the student. And I'm going to, let's say this time I submit and new, because I need to add one more thing for indirect. Let's say that I had a meeting and it was last week because I didn't enter it in time. So I'm going to put the date of a couple days ago. Maybe it was an hour. And let's say I want to add a follow-up note because I need to make sure that I get in touch with my team. And then I'm going to submit. So there's a couple things that I want to show you from here. The first thing I want to look at is this note that we copied to a student's record. That was 20 minutes of activity, and that was 20 minutes of indirect activity. Now, if I go to my counseling notes history for that student, and I click search, here is that activity. So this is what I did. This is my paperwork. This is the date, but 0 minutes show up here. That's because all of the minutes were attributed to indirect. Even though I was doing that and I wanted to show it up for this student's history, I did not want the time to be counted as direct service because it wasn't a direct service. Now I'm going to go to my dashboard, and this is going to start to give me a picture of how much time I've spent on direct versus indirect services. And I specifically want to just look at today. So here's a comparison today. I've got 75% direct, 25% indirect. And that time is attributed to all of the paperwork here. Now, notice how if I look at my chart on direct services, this still shows up as 0 because I spent some time doing paperwork for a specific student, but it was not actually a direct service. Last thing I want to show you here is I'm going to go to the follow-up list because remember I selected follow-up for one of those activities. And here it is. It's the meeting, and I post-dated it August the 8th. Here it is, planning meeting. Once I've done that, I can just move it to an active, check it off my to-do list. And that's how you enter your indirect notes into noteCounselor.